Everybody's in.
Okay. Is Senator Albritton here?
He's just joining now.
Okay. Let me know when he's in, please.
It looks like he is now in.
All right, thank you. If everybody is here, I'd like to call the meeting of the Charlotte County Legislative Delegation meeting to order. The meeting was publicly noted in the Charlotte Sun newspaper on February 15th, 2021, in accordance with House rules. I'd like to thank you all for joining us to discuss changes in the election process for the Charlotte County Airport Authority. Let me recognize Senator Albritton. You are here, sir. Senator Grudas, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Representative Grant. Thank you for hosting us today. And it's always great to be on a meeting with you and Senator Albritton. So,
thank you. Senator Albritton?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Good to see you, Mike, Joe, and everyone. So look forward to conversation today and appreciate the opportunity to represent you.
I would say you look a lot more comfortable than we are.
Well, thanks for noticing. Yes, sir. Probably so.
Well, let's get on to the agenda of the meeting. We have no old business, so we will jump into new business. And the new business is the local bill to amend Chapter 98-508 of the laws of Florida dealing with the election to the Charlotte County Airport Authority. Before we get into a discussion of the bill, let me just make a few comments about the bill and about what we're trying to do. Currently, the Charlotte County Airport Authority is elected with 5 members, all elected from a district in which they have to live in 6 months prior to their election. The proposed change dealt with electing all 5 members of the authority at large and doing away with the restriction of the 6 months. Just so you know, the current law under which the Charlotte County Board gets elected was signed into law in 2013 after the legislature was petitioned by the authority to change the previous method. Under the 2013 law, as I said, candidates were required to live in the district 6 months prior to taking office. That was done again at the behest of the airport authority members who sat on the board at that time. That provision clearly restricted who could file for any particular seat. And coupled with the lack of term limits, it made it difficult, if not impossible, for non-incumbents to successfully challenge incumbents for a seat. For an example, since 2012, in over 30 primary and general elections, only 1 incumbent has ever lost. That's the reason I propose that we open up the election process and make it easier for new candidates to run for this important board. My original solution was simple and straightforward. It would have allowed anyone who lived in the county the ability to run. Because the authority does not provide any services outside the general public outside its geographic boundaries, which is unlike the Charlotte County Commission of the School Board, to me, it made sense to open up the process. And that would have, again, that would have meant that all 5 members would have been elected at large, and that was the way the meeting was noticed. In discussion with other elected officials and members of the public, amendments were made to the original drafted legislative proposal. And those changes included 4 things. Having only 2 seats elected at large and 3 be elected by districts. Those would be super districts. It would be West County, Mid County, and South County. And this was done to ensure that no one section of the county could dominate the board. It also imposed term limits on members after the 2022 election, such that a member could serve only 8 consecutive years. And that was similar to the limits placed on state legislators like us, the governor, and other cabinet officials. It would have allowed the current board members who sit on the board, if reelected, an additional 8 years after 2022. The amended bill draft would also increase the board membership to 7. A member of the Punta Gorda City Council and a member of the County Commission would be added as voting members to the board. This would help coordinate policy between all 3 government agencies and mitigate against any governmental body that sought to hijack the airport authority and take control of the airport. Having been a member of the airport authority for 6 years, I want the authority to be strong and independent. Number 4, it would have eliminated the 6 months residency requirement, which was added again in 2013. With redistricting on the horizon, some of the existing board members may have been forced to move to new districts to qualify if they wanted to run for re-election. That didn't seem fair to me or to other people that I talked to. It would have unfairly jeopardized those sitting board members. So that is a proposal that many in the community felt was a good spot, and if I may say so, to land in. It would open up the process while giving incumbent board members the ability to continue their valuable service. As a former member of the authority, I'm a strong advocate for its continued independence. The board in the past has been entrepreneurial and nimble. It has seized opportunities when they were presented and faced unexpected challenges with courage and foresight. I believe the changes to the election process outlined above would have enhanced that legacy and made the board a more dominant and positive force in the community going forward. I have been informed by House staff that because the notice published in the newspaper stipulate that the election would be 5 members at large rather than the proposed 2 members at large, that the amendment may violate House rules, notification rules, and make the draft bill null. Having spoken to many members of the community regarding their input on this compromise proposal, I do not feel comfortable going back on my commitment to them. Our next legislative delegation meeting will occur sometime next November prior to the 2022 election. My suggestion, members, is that we postpone deliberation of the amended legislation until that proposed meeting. Senators, I would welcome your input.
Mike, I would say that what you're proposing is very smart. The idea of continuing to have it vetted, you've done a good job of as I have, and I'm sure that Senator Gruters has, of reaching out to folks in the community and checking the pulse, if you will, and just getting creative about the idea and the process. So I don't know if we need to actually make a motion, Mike, to do so, and if so, along the parameters that you described, I would move to do that.
Senator Gruters, your comments, please.
Yeah, and I agree with Senator Albritton and you, Senator Grant, and I personally like the idea of putting in term limits into in making sure we leave that open next meeting in November. And I look forward to having this come back, but I will second Senator Albritton's motion to postpone this till November.
Thank you, members. So without objection, we will withdraw that bill from consideration. We have no further business to discuss. Therefore, Senator Albritton moves to adjourn. Without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you, members. Appreciate your help.
Thank you.